Recording and releasing music can be one of the most rewarding things that an artist can do, but it also comes with its challenges. Musicians often have questions about things like distribution, royalties, licensing, publishing, playlists, marketing, social media, and the list goes on and on. But out of all of these challenges, which is the most fundamental issue to address? The answer is actually none of these things. The most fundamental part of releasing music is metadata. Let's define what metadata is, and then analyze why it is the most important thing to get right when releasing music. Plus, at the end of this video, I'll also provide you with some tools to help make sure you have all of your metadata organized. So what is metadata? Well, on a technical level, metadata literally means data about data. It refers to data that is used to summarize or define another data set or data point. Translating this to releasing music, a data point could be a single master recording, and the metadata would be any identifying data about that master. There is a broad range of available data, but common data includes things like the track title, the recording artist, any featured artists, the album or the EP title, the track number, track timing, and then unique identifiers like a recording's ISRC or an album or EP's UPC. And metadata also exists on the publishing side as well. The following publishing metadata can be attributed to a single composition contained within a single master recording: the songwriter names, the songwriter IPI numbers, the songwriter ownership percentages, the equivalent of all those things for the publishers, and then any unique identifiers like an ISWC, the HFA/MOC song code, and many others. So as you can see, there are a lot of data points that can apply to a single recording of a single song. In the digital music economy, metadata truly is the backbone of everything. Metadata is how copyright owners can be identified and how royalties are paid. It's how streams are tracked, analytics are generated, and beyond the music itself, is the most fundamental aspect of how artists or songwriters can make money. Before you can even consider how to register your works with any publishing or sound recording related entities to collect royalties, you first need to have a clean copy of your metadata available. You'll hear this advice about metadata often, but let's look at the inverse. What happens if you don't have clean metadata available? Well, there are a seemingly infinite number of ways that something could go wrong. And in order to understand how things can go wrong, we first need to take a look at the size of the music industry in today's digital world. Since anybody today can distribute music, the amount of artists and tracks has exploded over the past decade. It's impossible to know just how much music is available online, but there are some metrics we can look at. One of them is Spotify. As of February 2021, there are over 60,000 tracks released on Spotify a day, or nearly one track every second. In total, there are over 90 million tracks available, and at least 7 million recording artists. To put these numbers into perspective, just in 2019, Spotify had only around 5 million recording artists and was seeing nearly 40,000 tracks a day. So as you can see, the amount of tracks per day has increased by 50% in just 2 short years. But that is just Spotify. Another metric we can look at to get a sense of the size of the music industry is SoundCloud. SoundCloud is home to a large number of independent artists, and in terms of volume, helps us get a better picture at the overall size of the digital music industry. As of 2020, there were 25 million artists on SoundCloud and 200 million available tracks. There are many effects that this growth of the industry has had on artists and music consumers, more of which I'll cover in later videos. But for now, the main takeaway is that there is an unprecedented and ever-growing amount of music available, all of which needs to be tracked and have royalties paid out. As you can imagine, any private company or government-regulated entity around the world tasked with tracking and collecting royalties is faced with a very difficult challenge. They need to sort through millions of rows of data and make sure everything is attributed and paid out properly. Most of this process is automated. Each year, it gets more automated and more accurate, and most companies largely do a great job at this. However, given the sheer amount of data to sort through, there are also aspects that are manually reviewed by real people to fill in any gaps or issues from automation. And whether there are automated or manual errors, there inevitably will be mistakes where royalties are overpaid, underpaid, paid to the wrong party, or not collected at all. And again, this is usually at no fault of a given company and is more about the massive amount of tracks available with only a limited amount of data to work with. And this is why you'll read about things like black box royalties, or royalties that are never properly attributed or paid out, and royalty adjustments, which are either positive or negative adjustments to a royalty statement. Since the vast majority of these processes are automated, one thing you can do to help make sure that you get paid correctly is to always include as much metadata as possible in every single registration. Even in places where it says something is optional, if you have it, include it. This isn't a guarantee that everything will go perfectly, but it certainly gives you a much better chance. To use an analogy, it's like bowling with the lanes up. Sending all of your metadata over to somewhere doesn't guarantee that you'll get a strike, but at least you won't get in the gutter. And this is why metadata is the most important thing to consider when releasing music. If your song takes off, but everything is not registered correctly or is missing metadata, you'll likely end up losing out on royalties in some way. So before you worry about things like marketing or playlisting, you should first make sure that you have all of your metadata organized. So how should somebody go about organizing their metadata, especially for independent artists and songwriters who register and keep track of everything themselves? What should artists or songwriters include and keep on hand, or what can they disregard? Well, as part of launching this channel, I'm giving away a robust metadata template for free that includes most pieces of metadata that you need when registering works with any royalty collection society on either the master or publishing side. It's split into two sections, one for sound recording metadata and the other for publishing metadata. And if you have any questions about a specific piece of data, like what it means or where to find it, there's also an additional tab explaining each column and where you can find the info. I've included a link down in the description for you to view and download this template for free. I hope that you found this video helpful and insightful into the importance of metadata and the role that it plays in the music industry. Please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel, as I'll be releasing more videos in the near future about other music industry topics. Thanks so much for watching.